Hello Aquarius, Elsie here to do your reading. It is a weekly reading, Aquarius. It is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. How you doing? I hope you're well. Thanks so much for clicking here. So I'm going to read for you here from these Oracle decks first. That's what we're going to do. Couldn't get the word out. My brain just froze there for a moment. We're going to read from the oracles for the first bit of this reading, and then we're going to throw some tarot on it, get some details. The oracles are for the overall energy. This reading can be for you for today, tomorrow, next year, whenever it shows up as resonation for you. It may not resonate with you. I can't read for everybody at the same time, y'all. There's a lot of you here, right? So this is a general reading, and it may or may not resonate for you. Take what is yours and leave the rest, please. And if you are somebody who keeps coming back here, and you have for 2025, thank you for being my ride or die. I appreciate your support and your time. Thank you for your thumbs up. I appreciate that. It grows this tribe every time you do that. And if you want to overtake 10 of Cups Tarot with Aquarius energy, which I wouldn't mind in the least, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing as well. If I come through your feed anyway and I'm all up in your business, you might as well be subscribed to me, right? If you're brand new, welcome. I hope you'll stay. Welcome to the shenanigans. Let's find out what's going on with Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about private reads and extended reads and how you can find both of those things. Tell me what's going on with Aquarius, please. Aquarius, we have endings. Okay, so something here is either ended or is about to end here. We do have card number 29, which is an 11, and we have another 11. It does feel like something is about to end. Now, we are close to the end of the year. We could be talking about the end of the year for some of you. But for others of you, it may be your end of traveling. I'm just going to say there's a mask here that looks foreign. Maybe you are done your traveling for the year. It feels like somebody here has been seeing numbers, possibly 11s or 1s. We do have card number 11, and then we have an 11 on the shelf here. So you could be seeing 1111, or you could be seeing 1s. Let's find out what else we've got here. What else is going on for Aquarius, please? So something is about to come to an end, a cycle, possibly the end of the year. Let's find out more about this. Tell me more about Aquarius, please. I think whatever ends is going to give you balance, because 11 breaks, 11 is 1 and 1, which is 2. And so it feels like, oh, good. Okay, we've got deception and envy. It feels like something is going to make you feel better as it ends, is what I was about to say. We do have deception and envy. You know what it is? I feel like you're either ending a relationship or a friendship, or maybe you're not going to work at that place anymore. It feels like you feel that somebody lied to you. You're the greatest, sharpest bullshit detector, right? You know when somebody's lying. And so I feel like you are... Yep, there it is. I feel like you detected some deception or some envy from somebody else. And it feels like it leads to a new beginning, because I feel like you end the relationship and the job and whatever is going on here. So something is coming to an end, and I feel like you're the one that brings it to an end. I don't think it's something that's being brought to an end by you, because of you. Like, I don't think someone else is doing it to you. I think you're the one who's ending something in order to begin again. It feels like a phoenix sort of energy, like you needed to burn it to the ground in order to nourish the soil so you could rise from the ashes. We've got boundaries, so you're definitely drawing some boundaries with someone. We've got card number 26, and that's an 8. It feels like somebody here has been possibly doing some self-mastery or working on the self, working on boundaries. Look, I just need to get everything together and be the subject matter on all of the analytics. What's going on here exactly? It's almost like you're like in this position of weighing and measuring people and situations and jobs. And it feels like you're cutting out or ending relationships or situations where you feel that they're no longer serving you, where there's deception, where there's lying, or where people are acting out in a weird way because they're a little bit envious of the position that you're in life. Look, that can happen when somebody has, takes off, their business takes off, or somebody ends up winning some money, other people can be envious and they'll start talking behind your back like, oh, Aquarius thinks they're better than me. It could be something like that, but it feels like it is leading to a new beginning where you have boundaries, by the way. It feels like you're now going to be meeting people at the property line and not necessarily letting them into the yard. We've got memories of love. So I think that you are taking this with you. I feel like this is the Six of Cups, right? Six feels like the Six of Cups to me. Memories of love. It feels like this is nostalgia. So I think what you're taking with you are memories of the past, but I feel like you are moving into a more secure position in your life. I want to say that it feels like you probably had a feeling that there were people who were not necessarily on your side, but maybe hung around because of the ways that they benefited from being in your life. And I think that's what you're bringing to an end. But I don't think you did it all at once, because you never do anything loudly. You do things in the sneak attack. You're the sneak attack, right? Patience. That's what it feels like. You're just going to sort of fly off into the distance, patiently, quietly, and you're going to thrive wherever you go. So it does feel like you are bringing something to an end, that I feel that you knew or had a feeling that something was going on under the surface. People were talking about you behind your back. There was deception here. We've got card number 7. And for me, 7s are about heaven. That's your intuition. I feel like you probably already knew this. You were just waiting for the right moment to either say something to them or just pick up your crap and go. Yeah, just take your crap and go. Maybe you're waiting to tell them to go. Let's look at tarot and see what else we can get from here. Tell me about this for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. These cards are slippery today. Tell me about Aquarius. Ooh, yeah, it's done. It's done. It's way done. Look, when we have endings and death come up, when we have a confirmation that this is the end of a chapter, it's done to the point that you'll never go back. Like, you're never going back to this place again, this person again, this relationship again, this friendship again. It's done. Yeah. The door has closed. We have the devil energy here. Oh boy. This is really clear here. It looks like there was some sort of deception, lying. It feels like this is some sort of a loop you were caught in. And you may have been caught in the loop because you're like, it's not happening again, is it? It feels like you ended up in the company of people or a person or a situation that was codependent or toxic. It feels like there could have been people in your environment using ways to numb themselves from having to deal with reality. Toxicity, right? Tell me about the new beginning. It feels like you felt trapped here. I'm going to say you felt trapped here, or you felt that there was codependency here. And I feel as though everything was on you, but when the mask did finally lift, you were like, I'm not doing this anymore. This isn't right. This is toxic. Tell me about the new beginning. We have, the Page of Pentacles. These tarot cards are really singing and coinciding with your oracles today. We do have the Page of Pentacles. It is the new beginning. I feel like you're getting grounded. Yeah, the Page of Pentacles is something that you are finally materializing in the 3D. So I feel like you are leaving a place and going to another place because it became toxic or tangled, or you felt like people started expecting things of you. But I feel like somebody here, I feel like you were probably very kind to this person and helpful. Maybe it was a workplace and you put in a lot of time, effort, energy. And I feel like you just got screwed in the end is what it feels like here. Tell me about the Death card, because I feel like this is done. Like it's not just like transformation. It is like endings. It's done. I'm never going back there. I'll never see you again. I'll probably never look you in the eyes again. It could be something that someone has ended with you, but I don't really feel it that way. We've got the 10 of Wands here. So it feels like whatever this is, I feel it is actually a bit of relief. I feel like you're releasing it, but I also feel like you are sad that you have to end it, or sad that it's done. we have the Ace of Wands, but you're on to greener pastures here. It does feel like the Death card with the Ten of Wands tells me that you carried this around for a while. I think you were planning on going, or, you know, Aquarius, I feel like you're the person who would just give somebody enough rope. Do you know what I mean? You'll just wait until they get tangled up in the rope so bad that finally when you walk up on them and they're all tangled up in the rope and you're like, I thought that's what you were doing. So I feel like you gave someone enough rope to tangle themselves so bad that they couldn't get out. And once you realized or figured out that there was deception going on here, that they were the person who was actually taking the rope, that you finally just cut it free. But the thing is that this weighed heavy on you, I think. The ending of this, because I think that you knew it was over long before it was, long before you really voiced it. I think you knew it was over, and that's what the Ten of Wands is. It's carrying around things that are really heavy. And I think what was really heavy for you is that you knew that this was over, but you didn't know how to quite end it, because when the good times were there, they were good, because this could be you leaving the Three of Cups is here. You may have decided, look, it's become toxic. All I'm doing is drinking and eating and playing, and I'm not really taking care of myself. It could be something that ended up getting all out of control. You understand what I mean? When the devil's here, that's what the devil would love you to do. Be in the playground, right? And so the Three of Cups is here. I think that somebody here is stopping drinking, stopping playing. I'm not going out to the bar. I'm not doing all this eating and playing and buying everything for everybody. It feels like there is... the Three of Cups is the place of celebration, and I feel like that was starting to weigh heavy on you, that maybe it was something you were doing a little too often. I think that this is the ending, but also I feel that when you ended this, you also had to end the relationship with the people who were doing it because they didn't want to stop doing it. I think this is your decision for yourself. The Ace of Wands is telling me here that a light went on. Yeah, a light went on. You started to see things clearer than you did before when you were in the dark. And it feels like you're now on some sort of a new path here. Something that is, I feel, exciting and creative here. But I also feel like I don't think that it feels good that you have to go. I think that you wished it would have worked out better, but it didn't. And the deception became really toxic. The talking behind the back, which is envy, I feel became super toxic. Tell me about this. We've got the Magician. See, that's what it is. I feel like, Aquarius, that you're able to create your reality. You're able to create your reality because you're factual, because you go on the facts. I'm going to make a plan. The plan is solid. And so I feel like you are somebody who creates your own reality. You're a manifester. And when other people see things start to come to fruition, when you create your environment, I feel like people start talking behind your back. We've got the Knight of Swords. Yep, there it is. Somebody spoke out of turn. You know what it was? It feels like it comes to the surface because the Knight of Swords is Gemini energy. And although Gemini can read the room, absolutely, Gemini is just going to say it. Doesn't really care how it lands with the people around them. And so I feel like you probably got into this group of people and somebody said something about someone smack talking you, or saying like, somebody is envious of the way that you can create your reality and do whatever it is that you want to do. You saw that as very toxic. So I think that you knew that you had to face this. You had to come face to face with it. And I feel like it's really a matter of you holding back, because if you would have pulled the sword from the sheath, I think you would have hurt somebody with it. I think that you were trying to hold back everything that you would say. I feel like you chose not to say it because the King of Swords is somebody who is intellectually grown, right? And so I don't think that you're a person who is going to, maybe you are. I mean, everybody's different, but you could be a person who, I feel like what I'm feeling here is that you're not a person who would take pieces out of people. I think you're a person who would just walk away. And when they noticed you were gone and they tried to get a hold of you, you'd say, no, I knew what was going on. I don't know who you thought you were fooling. So I feel like that you were holding back everything you wanted to say. You realized that this was a toxic situation and that it's time to go. So maybe you've already done this, but maybe this is in the future for somebody here. You are going to figure out that this situation is toxic, that it is, there are envious people who are deceiving you. And I feel like it's because you are the Magician. because the thing is that when I see the magician and the devil together, I don't like it. I think you're the magician, but I think the people around you are using their energy, their magician energy, in codependence with the devil, which is manipulation. So they're using the tools in the wrong way, and you're using the tools in the right way. And because they don't want to do all of the work that it takes to use their tools in the right way, I feel like they become envious because you're not stuck in this devil energy. I feel like you just walk away from it, to be honest, quietly. I feel like you just pack your shit and go. Like somebody wakes up in the morning and you're gone. That's what it feels like here. Page of Pentacles is here. It's a new beginning. It does really feel like you've been holding back saying something. Maybe you go away silently. We've got the Four of Wands. Okay, I just heard there's no place like home for the holidays. Actually, it was Bing Crosby that was singing it in my head. I feel like somebody here is going home for the holidays. So maybe rather than, I feel like you did leave a situation. Whatever the situation is, I feel like you left it silently, but you're done with it. And I feel like the place you want to go is where people know you, where they know your name, people that love you for who you are. And I think that somebody here has probably decided to go home for the holidays. I'm just saying that because the Four of Wands is here and the Two of Pentacles is here. That's where you get your balance. That's where you get your stability. You're feeling like you're on wobbly legs at this point, and you're at this place of a new beginning, and you're trying to materialize something tangible in the 3D. And I think for you, the thing that's tangible is the foundation you've built. We've got one pentacle here and two there. It feels like the foundation that you built. And that would be these people that are in your memory bank of people of memories of love. So people that you've grown up with, family, friends. I feel like you're going home for the holidays. Yeah, there we go. We've got the lightning tree, which is the Tower. So it is a shift. It's a shift in your thinking, a shift into a new beginning here. And it feels like you are probably headed home for the holidays, because that's the place where you can get comfort, and that's where you can build the biggest boundary between you and whatever this crap was. And I think that you're going home to see the people who give you the most security, the most stability. I think you're going home to heal, to rest and rejuvenate. I don't know where you were here. It feels like you were away from home though, and I feel like if you have patience, things are going to work out in your favor here. But this is the biggest boundary that you could build at this time is just by leaving quietly. And I think that's what you're doing. Look, we're going to put 3 cards down here, and then we're going to go into the extended. If you go into, if you want to come into the extended with us, if you go into the pinned comments. So if you go to the top of all the comments, there's one comment that is always pinned there for you. And there's a bunch of information in that pinned comment. But if you read it there, you will find information to go to the, find the extended in the membership area. If you're interested in the membership area, you can get 4 extendeds over a month there if you're interested in that. And you can purchase this one outright as well. And if you are interested in purchasing this one, you can just purchase this one extended if you're interested in doing that. As far as private reads, I just put on a sale today. The sale does go from today until midnight on the 31st, and that is 10% off of all of my pre-recorded readings. So any pre-recorded reading that you find when you click on the Hypsee link, you will get 10% off of that. There's a code that you will need that is in the pinned comment. It's for a happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, happy Diwali, happy whatever it is for you. You will get 10% off when you use the holiday code Happy Solstice. By the way, that's going to be coming up. So let's put down some cards. Let's talk about what's coming up here. This is usually what is coming up next, or this can possibly be some advice as well. Yep, Queen of Swords is here. I was wondering if the King or the Queen of Swords were going to show up. You know what I think is when you finally make your distance, when you finally get distance between you and whatever this was, I feel like you finally say things in the kindest way that you know how. I feel like what you were doing is you were keeping under the surface what you really felt about the situation, the honest and truthfulness of the situation, but you still had to liberate yourself and get yourself the heck out of there because it was toxic. So I feel like you are probably going to do it from a distance. Like, I feel like wherever you were, once you finally get back home, which I feel you have to, it feels like the end of travels I was seeing here. So it feels like you are finally leaving that whole situation and going home. And I think that you'll probably end up taking calls or something when you're finally gone. And when that person's like, where'd you go? You weren't in bed this morning. And you're like, yeah, I'm halfway across the world at my parents' place. That's what it feels like here. Anyways, so I'm going to go into the extended. We're going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about this a little more and see what the situation was, what made you leave. It feels like it was a shift of everything. You were done with whatever this is. We're going to find out what it is and then find out what's coming up in the future. Bottom of the deck is Nine of Pentacles. I think you needed to do what you needed to do in order to stand tall by yourself. It feels like something that you need to rebuild your confidence, rebuild your reputation, rebuild your finances. It feels like that's what you're going home for, is to rebuild. Yeah, it looks like the Page of Swords is here. A lesson learned, friend. That's what it is. I'm going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, that's where I will be. And if this is not where you're going to be, that's okay. I'll be back. Because I'm always back. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much. Be well. Bye-bye.